So apparently, I have to find some. There's a video of a lady who's trans, whose passport had expired, and she went to renew her passport, but they told her she cannot get a new passport. And she said that the new passport will have to have a male marker. She's a trans woman, a male marker on it. And she said, okay, as long as I can travel, I don't really care what marker my passport has. And then they turned around and said, oh no, never mind. We cannot even give you that passport. We just cannot give you a passport. And she's like, so I just cannot travel. I guess if you're trans now in the US, you cannot travel. Great. Great news for everybody. That's like a snippet of depression. How do you like it? How do you like this little snippet of depression that I
Go another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time. No filter, I got no filter. No filter, I got no
on this? Oh,
Angeles Passport Agency after trying to acquire a new passport after mine was expired.
okay. See, passport expired. Trying to get a new one. So far, so good. It should be an easy process. Hey, hello, my passport is expired. Can I get a new one? Sure. I don't think you should even have to give them a new photo, and like they should have you in your data. They should have you in your database, in their database. They should just hand you a new passport automatically. Like that's the weird part for me. They already have you in their database. They know who you are. They've given you a passport before. What has changed if it's expired, or if you've lost it? You should just go and, hey, hello, I'm here to get my new passport. And it should be like, okay, according to our database, it expired. Or, oh, you've lost your passport in a tragic thing. Guess we're just gonna give you a new one. It's gonna take up to 1 or 2 days. But no, apparently it takes.
Any name, gender, sex of any form. And that is the case of what we are dealing with right now in the United States. There is an effective travel ban. If you are trying to get a passport and you've had any sort of change with your gender, I've heard a lot of people saying things like, oh, it's fine if you just want to get a passport with your old gender, it's fine.
Well, it doesn't seem to be fine because this person could not get it. This person could not get the passport.
That's not true. They will not give it to me. And when I asked for more answers, I only left the office under threat of arrest.
What? Oh, you're kidding. Oh my god. This is a joke. This is really a joke, what's happening right now. But I guess a lot of us saw the writing on the wall, and we were met with mockery saying, oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen. Trump's not gonna go after trans people. You're fear mongering. Trump's not a guy like that. Well, we're seeing the first results of Trump's anti-trans policy in action. Your identity is wrong, Cheese Wizard. Please fix it.
They stated that they would arrest me if I asked any more questions. So I left peacefully, but I only left under threat of arrest. And it seems that I will not be able to.
Yeah, see, we have a procedure that we follow. We don't have a procedure for this. If you keep pestering us, we're gonna have to call the cops. That's basically probably what happened. Because that is the bureaucratic way.
Travel
Yeah.
outside of this.
I mean, the MAGA administration is forcing the T in LGBT to either die or go back to the closet. Like, it starts with the T, but then it'll go after the different letters as well. Just you wait, okay? It's not gonna be just the T. It's gonna be also um, the L. It's gonna be the G. It's gonna be everything sooner or later. They're definitely gonna go after the marriage. Definitely, they're gonna go after gay marriage sooner or later. I can I can feel it in my heart. I can feel it in my stone. The 19 views. The State Department is blocking new passports for trans Americans, according to the new amazing executive order. The I cannot read. I cannot read for my life. The ACLU has warned that transgender people risk losing access to their passport and supporting documents if they apply to update their gender marker. Oh, uh-oh. The State Department is no longer issuing US passports with X gender markers and has suspended processing all applications from Americans seeking to update their passports with a new gender marker. This suspension made in response to President Donald Trump's executive order signaling his administration's opposition to gender diversity affects all transgender and non-binary Americans, including those currently traveling or overseas. The agency says that it will issue guidance on previously issued passports with an X marker and that more information will be available on its travel website. However, no formal policy has been released, which is fueling confusion among trans and non binary people trying to update their documents. That includes Ash Lazarus, or a trans activist living in West Virginia, or applied to update their name and gender marker on their passport on January 16th. Days before Trump was sworn into office, he paid $300 for expedited service, but his paperwork wasn't processed until January 22nd, when ORR called the agency's hotline for Americans waiting on passports who have upcoming international travel. They were told that the agency had no guidance to offer and that their documents had been set aside. So that's it then. If you're trans and dream of travel to do anything, you can kiss those dreams goodbye. You either choose your identity or you choose to be able to, I don't know, see the world. That's the trade-off, that's the payoff, okay? Everything has a price. If you want to be yourself, then I guess there's going to be a whole bunch of places that you're not going to see, okay? You're like you're under home arrest, home being the United States if you're American. Now Orr is without his passport, without his birth certificate, and without his marriage license. Over the phone, he was told that his documents are being held in San Francisco, where they were being originally processed. Oh, so it's not just the passport. This also actually affects other documents. That's good to know. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Oh yeah, they have my documentation that is very personal to me. I mean, it's more than that. It allows you to do anything. You cannot do anything in today's world without documentation. Okay, it's more than just about being the documents being personal. And they cannot tell me if I'm going to be getting them back. They said the American Civil Liberties Union has warned. Like, imagine wanting to open a new bank account. You cannot do it without documentation. You just cannot. They're gonna ask for any sort of documents, and you're like, well, I guess no bank account then. The American Civil Liberties Union has warned trans and non-binary Americans that if they submit a new application to change the gender marker on their passport, they risk losing access to their passport and supporting documents while their application is being processed. Are we back? 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 I don't even know where I don't even know where it's like. Are we back? I don't even know where this like ended. I don't even know where we were. I forgot where we were in the article. I got lost in the sauce. Whatever. See, this is what happens. This is what happens. Like, I'm being censored by the establishment that does not. I'm being personally censored by Donald Trump. Fix this, all of this. Trump's executive order directed federal agencies to require that government issued identification documents, including passports and visas, reflect sex assigned at birth. Since this order states that it is the policy of the United States to recognize two sexes, male and female, and that these sexes are not changeable, the Department issuance of U.S. passports will reflect the individual's biological sex. An agency spokesperson said in an emailed statement on Friday evening. Under Trump's executive order, sex explicitly excludes gender identity. We all saw the writing on the wall, right? We all saw this was going to happen. And to repeat what I said when the deep state decided to get me, this is just the beginning. We're just at the start of February. This happened still in January, okay? I think trans people have been excluded from the military again. I'm pretty sure there's somewhere on the horizon there is an executive order that's just gonna ban medical transition altogether. And then from like once trans people are dealt with, we're gonna move to greener pastures. And by we, I mean the U.S. government is gonna move to the greener pastures of gay people and other things like that. And then you're not gonna have gay marriage anymore in the United States. Are you happy? Are you happy with that outcome? This is who you voted for. This is what you voted for. And the weirdest thing about this is that nobody in the US really cares about trans issues. Like, people don't really care about if somebody has an M or an F in their passport. Nobody cares about that. Only the really radical MAGA crazies care about that. A regular US citizen, right? It's not of their everyday concerns. Oh, do those trans people have a specific marker in their documents? It's just that's the most bizarre aspect of all of this. That the majority of this is not really what Americans want. These sort of executive orders, these sort of changes. So it's just weird. But this sort of thing may very well at some point just bite the Trump administration in the ass, depending on how he does on economy. But we'll see. We're just gonna have to wait and see. Like stand back and stand down or whatever. We're gonna have to do that because all of the trans stuff that nobody cares about might just be really come back to bite Trump in the ass in the long run. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reportedly instructed agency staff on Thursday to implement that executive order as it pertains to passports immediately, as first reported by The Guardian and The Intercept. Now Orr is without his personal identity documents 6 weeks before pre-planned international travel and in the middle of planning a move out of West Virginia. The Biden administration made it easier for trans and non-binary people to update their federal identity documents. Accurate and consistent gender markers on identity documents dramatically reduces the risk that trans people will face violence, harassment, and discrimination, according to the Movement Advancement Project, which tracks LGBTQ policy. The dismantling of this policy has radical consequences, said a former State Department official who spoke on condition of anonymity due to fear of lingering retaliation from the agency under the Trump administration. Not only does it force transgender people to carry identity documents that don't accurately reflect their identity, this move also signals globally that US policy on trans rights is moving backward, they said. And it's gonna just be the same all over, okay? Now, I don't know. I've not done any legal moves to change my official name yet in Poland. I've done, and it already takes years in Poland, by the way. It takes a whole lengthy court process to do that in Poland. I've done nothing still yet to update my documents, but I'm starting to wonder how this policy will affect Polish policy. I'm actually worried about that. Maybe I should start, and of course, I don't have the money. Oh, Lucy, he's also orders schools to lack sexual misconduct laws for the LGBTQ plus. Essentially, he's made sexual assault more legal in schools. Wow, that is very bizarre. When the 19th called the National Passport Information Center on January 23rd to ask for more information, an employee on the technical support desk said that the State Department is aware of Trump's executive order and that guidance will be posted online once information is available. Because this is a rushed hack job of an executive order, no information is still available. I am willing to bet money that none of these bureaucrats know what to do right now. None of them do, and that's why they basically default to what they do best when they aren't guided to do nothing or to threaten to call security or police. Erin Ryan Heineman, a non binary person living in Massachusetts, called that same hotline. They don't need to renew their passport. They said they just wanted to find out what was going on. Although they feel safe in their state, which is which has non-discrimination protections in place for LGBTQ plus people. This is a little bit of a saving grace. That if you live in a state like Maryland, for example, which is one of the most trans-friendly states in the entirety of the U.S., then you might be okay. But otherwise, oh, it's gonna be tough, okay? It's gonna be tough. I'm telling you right now. They still felt the need to act because of the way confusion can endanger their wider community. People just really don't know who to believe or what to believe, they said. More LGBTQ plus people need to seek information from trusted sources. And those trusted sources would probably be, I guess, lawyers. Preferably who are entrenched in the trans community, like trans lawyers. Which again, you have pretty good sources of information in Maryland, which happens to be the best state, they said. But when trying to seek that information from an official source, Heinemann was met with more uncertainty. The employee on the phone was sympathetic, but they had no information about passports being confiscated. So there you go. I told you. That is exactly what I told you earlier. Even if the bureaucrat will not even be hostile, they're gonna be like, well, we don't have a procedure. We don't have any information. We don't know what to do. And when we don't know what to do, we're definitely not going to risk our jobs or ass or whatever, our salaries to take initiative. So there you go. If you insist on pressing on this, we might have to call the police or the security or whatever. Yeah, this is the brave new world that we live in now.